1 second, guys. CJ. Let me see, what is it doing? Stream. Okay. You know what? Let me see. Oh man. You know what? It won't let me do it. But I was able to do it, I think, for YouTube. But this is episode 5, y'all, not 4. This is episode 5. Can y'all hear me? Make sure. Yeah, this is episode 5, y'all. We back for the Diddy Do It or Not series, episode 5. East versus West. And today we're gonna be talking about Pac's return. We're gonna be talking about Pac's return. If y'all haven't, y'all can go on my Twitch and okay, Miss Pooh, for sure. Y'all can go on my Twitch and catch episodes 1 through 3 if you haven't been able to. Episode 4 on my YouTube. Um, and we here today for episode 5. So for episode 4, we talked about the Source Awards, 95 Source Awards. You know, that's the infamous Source Awards where Suge got up there and said what he said. You know what I mean? As far as Slug and Puffy, you know, we debated about if he was talking about Puffy or he was talking about Jermaine Dupri because, you know, um, that was in the air too, that he was talking about Jermaine Dupri. So, we talked about Pac being locked up because when Pac is locked up, his friends from New York. No, well, before Pac gets locked up, you know, he gets robbed at the Quad Studios. We covered that in episode 3. At the Quad Studios, he gets robbed and shot, and then he immediately goes to jail on the grape charge the day after, something like that. So while he's locked up, Bad Boy isn't doing anything but, you know, steady going up, you know, and then once this Quad Studio shit happens, Pac is like, oh, these niggas done got one up on me because they done robbed me, you know what I mean? He feels that Biggie and Pac had something to do with it. And his friends, one of his friends' comrades, I would say, because Stretch is the guy that was with him, his friend that was with him when he was at Quad. But like Stretch wasn't able to come and visit Pac because he didn't have an ID. So like the people that were able to come visit, they were telling him like, you know, Biggie and them had nothing to do with it. And we talked about how he was like, well, hey, I just did a ill ass vibe interview, you know. So he had kind of already made his mind up that he was gonna go after them, you know what I mean? Or he felt the way about them. So fast forward to episode today, Pac is, you know, well, while he's in jail, he's in cahoots with Suge Knight, hence the shout out that Suge gave him at the 95 Source Awards. We like to tell Pac, keep his head up, we riding with him. Shortly after that, we have the contract, the napkin contract, where Pac signed a death row contract on a napkin, allegedly. Um, and while he's locked up, you know what I mean, they brand that deal, they get that deal going on or whatever, and Pac signs, and then Pac gets released. Once Pac gets released, there was a couple of things that happened once he got released. Um, I mean, a couple of there's a few things that happened when Pac got released. You know what I mean? But we're gonna talk about hit him up. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that happened upon his release. Um, and y'all gotta understand where Death Row was at this time. The breadwinner and golden goose for Death Row was Snoop Dogg. You know, he had Dog Pound, you know what I mean? Um Murder Was the Case, you know what I mean? He had just beat that murder case. Cause finally when he beat it, he could really breathe, you know what I mean? But like for the most part, Doggy Style ruled um Death Row, you know? So the golden goose of Death Row was Snoop Dogg before Pac came. Now, when you got Pac and you got Dre, I mean, excuse me, when you got Snoop and you got Dre and you got the Dog Pound, you know what I mean? Pac being added to that type of recipe is just kind of like explosive. So, needless to say, Death Row was excited for Pac to come over there. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I in the research that I did, y'all, because you know it's like these are stories that you didn't heard time and time again. You know what I mean? If you research this stuff on YouTube, Google, whatever whatever outlet you use to research these things on, you know, a lot of these details or whatever intricate details has been repeated over and over. You know what I mean? So a lot of this stuff is literally up to what you believe. You know what I'm saying? So everything is for sure allegedly over here. Cause I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm just gonna speak on what I done came up on and things that I believe, you know. Um I you know as genius as Pac was, because I feel like Pac is a genius, no doubt about it. As genius as he was, I just, you know, he was gonna stop rapping. And we talked about that too. While he was in jail, he was so depressed and just like fed up, I think, with, you know, the way that things were ending up in his life that, you know, he really was like, you know, maybe rap is what's bringing all of this shit. You know what I mean? So maybe I need to take a step back from rap. So he was really gonna stop rapping. Um and that's coming out of Pac's mouth. Like we got that out of Pac's mouth. He said verbatim he wanted to stop rapping, but I'll let him explain why he didn't. You know, there was a just cause as to why he didn't stop, and that's gonna be in his own words for sure. But the main thing that I feel as though, you know, as far as the East West Coast thing that was going on, I heard something new that I heard today when I was researching is that Pac was trying to make amends towards the end of his life. But of course, by that time, it was, you know, too late. But apparently, he had a conversation, you know what I'm saying, with someone he, you know, respects or whatever. And they were telling him, like, listen, this East West Coast thing is synonymous with the issues that we would have in the Black Panther Party. This person was a part of the Black Panther Party that got in Pac's ear and was able to, I guess, sway him to a way where he would understand that if you keep this thing going, it's only going to end in destruction. I think was the ultimate lesson that that person was trying to convey to Pac at the time. And according to that person, he understood. He ate it up. And apparently, allegedly, that's what prompted the One Nation project that he started. Yes, he did. Well, Suge brought him Death Row East, trying to keep him on the label because Pac really wanted to leave Death Row. That's my opinion. Um, and you know, One Nation is something that he could have control over. You know, Pac wanted his own label. He was gonna call it Euthanasia. You know what I'm saying? But Suge didn't like that name. He didn't understand the name. So in turn, he brought him Death Row East and tried to say like this is gonna be yours. But Pac knew like this not mine because that's not my name. This not my label. You know what I mean? But One Nation was something that he was gonna make his and um really make it be something. You know what I mean? And that apparently came from the conversation he had with this very influential individual that he spoke with. And then I heard something else new that I had never heard before. Mo Preem. Everybody, well, if you don't know, Mo Preem is Tupac's brother. Mo Preem said that at one point Pac was gonna sign to Bad Boy. Didn't know that. Did not know that. Had no idea. What's going on, Dragon? Did not know that. What's up, Mad Dog, baby? What's up with it? But yeah, I heard from Opreme Pac's brother that he was gonna sign to Bad Boy. Had no idea. Didn't know. Never heard that before. Um. So anyway, I say all of that to say a lot of this information, could be people from back in the day that is finally speaking up. You know what I'm saying? It could all be speculation or whatever, but I can only connect the dots that make sense to me, but we here just to talk about it. If you got a difference of opinion about it, that's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Because eh, 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't be dialoguing with nobody that, what I'm saying, was actually there to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? So everything is definitely subjective. But so when Pac finally gets out of jail, I don't know if you guys remember, but on the last episode we talked about how people that knew Pac before the jail sentence said that there was one thing that was a clear indication to them that Pac was a different man. And these are people that knew Pac before music, you know what I'm saying? And people that knew Pac during Brenda's Got a Baby. Keep your head up, Pac, you know what I'm saying? Um, they said that they knew Pac was different when once he got out of jail. Um, it was around the time that the Million Man March was going on. And instead of going to the Million Man March, he went to kick it, you know what I'm saying, with Death Row, because Suge and him was supposed to go. But they decided not to go and they had other plans. So um, you know, us, if you research Pac and if you look at Pac, it's kind of like, man, that would be something that he wouldn't want to miss. You would think that when he get out, he's thinking to himself like, shit, this is right on time. I can go ahead and hit this over here and then I can go, whatever. But for whatever reason, that just wasn't something that he did. And people that knew him said that that was weird that he didn't go. You know what I mean? That's how people that was close to him said that it was kind of awkward that he didn't go. But I got a clip, y'all, from Tupac's from Danny Boy. If y'all don't know Danny Boy is the singer that was on Death Row. Um but before I play that clip, I want to play this clip because I don't know if y'all watched the Tupac movie, which shout out to Demetrius Ship. Demetrius Ship, I feel like, is very handsome, but you know, I think what pissed me off about him playing Pac is how he always kept leaning his head to the side. It's just like, goddamn, like I know the persona that Pac had, you know what I mean, and the mannerisms that he carried or whatever, but like, stop fucking leaning your head to the side like that, like you got a crook in your neck. It's kind of like it was overly Pac or something. I don't know. It was uncomfortable at times, and I just feel like Pac is one of those figures that just, even what's the nigga name that played Biggie, um, Jamal. Um, Jamal talked like he got quarters under his tongue just to sound like Biggie. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, ugh, But beggars can't be choosers, you know what I'm saying? Those two people are, you know what I'm saying, major hip hop figures. So for them to have even um a autobiography film is important. You know what I'm saying? I just, the acting for me is just cringeworthy sometimes. But shout out to Demetrius Ship on the movie, um, All Eyes on Me, the Pac movie where he played Pac. There's a scene where Suge is driving to the jail to to um get Pac to sign to Death Row. Now, Suge had made a few trips to Pac, to the jail, talking with Pac. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth. They had made a few trips before the trip where allegedly he signed the napkin contract. You know what I'm saying? So they had already been in cahoots and speaking about this or whatever. And I just want to remind you guys that may have watched the movie, where we at in the series, because it's just so, it's like perfect to describe where we are in this series. Y'all hit the like button. If you're not looking at your screen, direct your attention to your screen real quick. This is a scene out of All Eyes on Me, where Suge pulls up to the jail to get Pac to sign.
$3 million, one per album, up front, and a house for your mom.
That's it?
Yeah.
Money ain't a thing. What you need is guidance.
Already got a manager, man.
I'm not saying you can't have friends, but I'm the one that's gonna be there with you 24/7, 365. So it should be me. Death Row ain't a label. It's a way of life. Where's Atron at right now? Are they here? Or are they out there begging the white man for your money? Your money. It's real simple. A lot of people are born males, but they're not men. I'm a man. Nobody fucks with me. Nobody fucks with my money, and nobody fucks with my family. And if they do, I know you heard the rumors, but I want you to understand one thing. Results.
All right. So when can we do this?
When can you sign?
Show me the pen.
This is my pen right here.
We got a deal, baby. Big Suge. Yeah.
Hey,
What's up with it?
so while we finishing the setup, I might as well tell you I got the cover story pretty much written.
Yeah.
Footage cut together.
Yeah.
So if you got one last bombshell you want to
Hell
drop.
motherfucking yeah.
All right.
Is this motherfucking camera rolling? This shit on?
Let everybody out there know. All you motherfuckers that thought you was gonna bury me, thought you was gonna silence me, let you motherfuckers know I'm back.
Welcome.
Ew, payday.
Jelly, can you hear
What's
me?
going on? I can hear you. You good? You Gucci?
Okay, good. Cause I'm on my phone. I'm not on my laptop.
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't get around it. Catch me up. Hey,
Um.
everybody.
Okay. So, basically, first off, how are you doing, Renegade Report? Is you good, payday? Because I mean,
Girl,
we got to check in with our other host first. Now we can't just hop right into it. We gotta. So
girl,
hold on, holiday.
girl, I'm okay. You know these children keep me busy, girl. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to go get my daughter out of dance practice. They got out late. You know it's parade season. You know we celebrate Mardi Gras hard down here. So,
Oh
they
yeah, yeah,
dancing all the parades and stuff.
yeah. Okay, okay.
Hey, my Vern. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't look at the chat when I'm on my phone. I gotta be careful, y'all. I click on anything and I'm getting booted off. So I can't see the chat. I'm scared to hit. I'm scared to click the chat because it might it might kick me out.
Okay, well, we just definitely had to check in because, like I said, I really was just debriefing. That's literally the first clip that I played since you came in or whatever. That's literally the first clip. But what I was basically talking about is just catching them up because the last time we talked about the 95 Source Awards where, you know what I'm saying, Suge made his infamous, you know what I'm saying, slug the Puff. You know, we talked about if that was Puff or if that was JD that he was talking about, Jermaine Dupri that he was talking about. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying, there were things that happened after the Source Awards, which was the situation with Jake. What's up with it, Cali Stasis? What's going on? So the situation with
Hey,
Jake,
Kelly Star.
is what, you know what I'm saying, kind of like made it personal. That, you know, remember we talked about basically how it made it personal for Suge or whatever
Yes,
after the
yes.
Source Awards, you know what I'm saying? And so now we got after Jake's demise, we got Pac, who is locked up, but Suge has been making these trips back and forth to the jail, discussing, negotiating the contract for him to be on death row. And so I just played the movie clip because a lot of people that may not follow the history or do research or whatever, like we be doing on the topic, if you look at the movie, that's a clear depiction on kind of where we are in the series, because allegedly he does make trips back and forth to the jail to negotiate a contract. What's up, baby daddy? What's going on? So, um, we seen the movie clip or whatever where he pretty much, you know what I'm saying, goes and gets Pac to sign. And now, I want to play a clip where Pac explains why he signed with Death Row. Now, at the end of that clip, that was something that was very that was a stamp at the end of that clip. That's why I think the death row sign came up at the end, because he had finalized the deal with Suge, you know what I'm saying, after the trips back and forth. And then the interview that he did, before he was gonna wrap the interview up, the interviewer asked him, is there something else that you would like to say? Is there, and he's like, yeah, let all these motherfuckers know that, thought they could bury me. I'm coming. I'm coming. And so now it's like I done tied in, I done, stamped the deal with Suge. Now I got life again. Because at one point, Pac was not even gonna rap again. He was depressed, he was down in the dumps while he was locked up. But obviously that contract that he was negotiating with Suge definitely perked him up a little bit, and his whole mindset began to kind of stir. So that's where we at now. What's up, Lil Wayne fan?
Okay, let's go. Hey, Lil Wayne fan. Hey, MC.
Hey ladies, I miss Let's go, Lil Wayne fan. I need to get Lil Wayne fan her tool real quick. Let me power up my other phone um so I can get Lil Wayne a wrench. Y'all hit the like button, share us out. We in this thing. Hold on, Lil Wayne fan. You stay right there. I'm finna get you. I'm finna get you. Hold on. Lil Wayne fan one of those top mods on the cool.
Hell yeah.
On the cool. Like Kelly Star, one of them top mods.
Hell yeah. Top,
Okay.
top tier.
Not for real. Okay, we got you right. Okay, we got you right, Lil Wayne fan. You in there. You in there. All right. So the next clip that I'm gonna play y'all is in Pac's words. Now, at the end of that movie clip, like we just said, basically, he's like excited. He's geeked up. He's like, yeah, I'm about to come home and I'm finna stomp on these niggas. Basically, that's where he kind of at. That's where his tone is at. So let's hear from Pac himself as to why he felt like the best move would be to go to death row. What's up with it, Beezy baby? What's up, Beezy? Look, Lil Wayne fans say I learned all my skills from Kelly Star. Kelly Star, my girl. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, BZ.
Okay, so here go the clip, y'all, where Pac speaks himself about why he felt like death row was the best option.
Hey, we back chilling with Tupac. This man is multimedia. Not only is he a recording artist, he's also an actor. But before we get into the acting, I want to say, how did you first get down with Suge Knight and Death Row?
Suge, I used to always see Suge. When they did the soundtrack for Murder Was the Case, it was when I was going through all those legal problems, and he was like, yo, give me a song, dog. And I was like, yeah, you can get whatever you want. Gave him a song, and it was like the most I ever got for a soundtrack. I mean, the most I ever got for a song. It was damn near album budget. I mean, I think I got like something like 200,000 or 150,000 for one song. And the song, they didn't even use it, but I still got paid. You know what I mean? I got paid for everything I did on the soundtrack. And I think I did like 2 songs or something, but And I remember when he did it like, yo, it wasn't even like because he was jocking me. He did it because he knew I was having crazy legal problems. And I was a man. He had asked me to come to death row, and I was like, I ain't ready. And instead of like taking it personal, he just did that for me. And I appreciated that. So when I'm in jail and I'm sitting there, what made me do the death row thing, because I was really going to quit rapping. But then Puffy and Biggie and all of them came out in the vibe, and they lied, and they twisted the facts. And all I wanted to do was end everything. Yo, all I wanted to do was end everything and walk away from shit. You know what I mean? Like how Scarface and all them niggas do. I want to get out the game. I'm trying to get out the game. They want to dirty up my memory. They want to dirty up everything I worked for. So it made me come back. Instead of quitting, it made me come back more relentless to destroy my what in fact is my comrades, to destroy what used to be my homeboys, what I worked for, my closest clique. You know what I mean? I worked hard all my life as far as this music business to make it East Coast, West Coast love and make everybody feel comfortable. And I dreamed of the days when I can go to New York and be comfortable, and they can come out here and be comfortable. So it's not like I'm when people say, why are you doing it in East Coast? It's not like it's not silly at all. But you can't disrespect the love. You can't disrespect the peace treaty. That's just like when the Indians made deals with the white dudes and they would just come and rape their women and shoot them up and then leave. No, the Indians ain't gonna love white people no more. They're gonna want to kick up some dust until we think about it and renegotiate the terms of the treaty, and that's what I'm talking about.
That's where y'all at right now.
What you think about that, Pay?
I think it makes sense. Um, I could see how he would, being locked up, how Suge looking out for him would have, steered uh his decision. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like you mentioned before, you were saying that he was just about to retire from rap and just say, forget it. But Suge stepped in and he basically made mention of that. He was basically like they was gonna try to muddy my name and that was gonna be the last y'all knew of me. So it's better for me to come out, you know what I'm saying, swinging. And I feel like that's what he did.
So what I thought was interesting is that he said that in that clip, he said I was gonna stop rapping, and then he said, but Puffy and Biggie and them came out with a vibe interview. So it's like, damn, like you mean to tell me, because you gotta understand, this man already knew that he wasn't, what I'm saying, they wasn't responsible for that Quad Studio shit. He already knew that, right? And then he said that they came out with a vibe interview and they lied. But ultimately, Pac, wouldn't that be what you was riding with for you to have that energy for them?
Right. So was the vibe interview in response to the interview that he did?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking, because you can't say, oh no, them niggas tripping, because you had already started tripping, but you was just locked up. But they came to you and told you, hey, this ain't, what I'm saying, this ain't that. They didn't have nothing to do with it. But he said it himself, like, shit, I done already did a badass interview. It's already up. Like, not, oh damn, I'm gonna make it right. Like on some, and I think whatever, and that's the other thing that I forgot to do. I really forgot to get into that vibe interview, because in the vibe interview, I believe it was a response pay. And so because of that, it's like, shit, at the end of the day, y'all just going back and forth, because shit, they responded to the shit that you kicked up.
That's what I'm saying. So, for him to be like, that's what made him start back rapping. It's crazy.
Yeah, he said that that's kind of what fueled him. So, okay, Pac is he has a contract with him, and they negotiate a napkin contract. Have you ever heard anything about that, Payday?
Where they wrote it on the napkin.
Yeah, they because I mean, I've heard in the past that that's kind of had started had happened too. There was a napkin
Yeah.
contract, whatever, that they negotiated, obviously, because
Yeah,
it
it
was,
was kind of like on the whim.
right, right.
But like not official paperwork. Yeah, I've heard about that.
And then what's crazy is that you got people that come out and say, man, some people come out and it's a guy that was his name was D. Ray Richardson. He was, I guess, friends with Pac, but he came out and said, oh yeah, Pac didn't sign the death row. So I'm not sure if he's saying that because of the fact that it was a napkin contract involved, or if he's just, because Pac just said verbatim why he signed the death row. Now, if he signed on a contract, he still signed the death row, even though it's on a napkin.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's still legal.
It's still legal. So
Hmm.
I don't know, but let's. I got a clip about this napkin contract. Let's get into this real quick.
On September 16, 1995, Tupac Shakur needed money to bail himself out of jail. Suge Knight came with the infamous Death Row Records napkin contract, which was a 3-album, $3.5 million contract. However, Interscope Records owned Death Row, so to make things official, on October 4, 1995, Tupac signed this formal contract with Interscope, sealing the deal to work with Death Row. What makes the contract even more special is Interscope Records deems this to be Tupac's bail agreement, and detail how when signed, they will release Tupac out of prison. On October 12, 1995, 8 days after this contract was signed, Tupac was released from prison. This is the most historic contract to ever come up for sale. This contract started Tupac's legacy with Death Row Records, which unfortunately ended in tragedy.
They had that thing go for auction, damn napkin contract. But I mean,
I wonder how much it sold for.
right? Me too. But see, the thing is, like I said, napkin or not, it's a contract. It's a
Yeah, it's
contract.
still legal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still legal for sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? What you mean? What happened, BZ? As far as what? What you mean? Um, Now after he got out, you know what I'm saying? I think after he signed that contract and he did that interview where he was like, you know what I'm saying, left a message saying, let these motherfuckers know I'm coming. Woo, woo, woo. After that, I think it was maybe about a week later, and he was released. He got out of jail. And he got, right to work. The day that he did come home, he did go to the studio. He didn't go right to the studio because they was out and about, but he did go to the studio. And when he went to the studio, he did like 24 songs, I think, the day that he got out. But
So he came home and did a whole album in one day, basically.
honoring that, it to me seemed like he got right to that contract.
That too. I
You
mean,
know
because
what
it's a
I'm saying?
3-album deal.
Yeah, because he did All Eyes on Me, which is a double disc, and he was gonna do an extra album and be done. That was allegedly what was on his mind. That's why he went in and knocked out 24. Nigga, day he get out, knock out 24 tracks. Nigga, he got one more album left with the label.
That's crazy.
So, Danny Boy is the R&B singer on Death Row. Danny Boy is also a gay man. Back then, Danny Boy claimed he was bisexual though, because Danny Boy, according to him, allegedly, Danny Boy was fucking on Mary J. Blige. Okay, so
I remember hearing about that.
yes, he's been very vocal in a lot of interviews speaking about that, you know what I'm saying, whole little situation with them. So, he was around for sure. He was one of the male R&B singers on Death Row. And this is a clip of him speaking about the very day that Tupac got out of jail. When they went to pick him up and everything. Like, this is the exact day that he got out of jail. Let me see. Mhm, mhm. Oh man, I think I ain't even download that one. I don't even think I downloaded that one, y'all. But needless to say, because I think the main point I wanted y'all to understand is that when he got out of jail, he got right to work. He got right to work. And I feel like he got right to work on that contract. To me, that's kind of what I looked at it as. Like, nigga got right to work on that contract. So, after he gets out of jail, he gets to work on the album, and then the Source Awards comes up, not the Source Awards, the Soul Train 96 Soul Train Awards come along. You know what I'm saying? this is the year that Pac, you know what I'm saying, meets his demise, you know what I'm saying? But this is earlier in the year. Now, at the Soul Train Awards, it kind of puts you in the mind of the Source Awards in 95 because both Death Row and Bad Boy was in the building. But this time it was different because Pac is home. So Pac is like, you know what I'm saying, ready for all type of war. Y'all heard his mindset about getting out of jail and where he was at, you know what I'm saying, as far as with the beef and shit. So when they meet up with each other, it almost went down between them. But LAPD stepped in the middle and diffused the situation before it could. But guns were definitely drawn. Make no mistake. So again, at this point, it was personal for Suge because he lost Jake. You know what I'm saying? But it still, in my eyes, could have been some brakes put on it. You know what I mean? But I think when Pac got out, he had a mission and he accelerated. You know what I'm saying? He put pedal to the metal. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and then he ended up doing hit him up. And at that point, it's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know how you begin to come back from this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But here's a clip of them at the Soul Train Awards. And it definitely went down when they finally met up against each other. And this is after Pac is out of jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm trying to do. Straight up Brooklyn in the house.
Craig Mack.
Dr. Drizzy.
Uh-oh, we're gonna have some trouble here. The DRE.
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
That's right. Now that we done made the East Coast, West Coast thing officially one love, I want to thank everybody out here for putting me in a situation where I could win an award like this, being from Long Beach, California. And we'll continue to keep G-funking y'all like we should do each and every motherfucking year. LBC you.
Payday, did you notice the tally at the bottom?
I didn't. It was so small.
Okay, I'm gonna play it again.
I would have to zoom in. Okay.
So just pay attention to the tally at the bottom because literally this is how the awards was going, where Bad Boy was winning, then bitch Death Row win, then Bad Boy win again, then Death Row. You know what I'm saying? So this is the energy at the Soul Train Awards when Pac is out of jail, but they, you know, at the Source Awards, Bad Boy exceeded Death Row as far as the awards.
Right.
At the Soul Train Awards, the very next year later, 96, they going at it. So I just want you to pay attention to the tally, y'all. If y'all didn't get a chance to see it, I'm gonna play it one more time.
Yeah. Y'all know what I'm trying to do. Straight up Brooklyn in the house.
Craig Mack.
Dr. Drizzy.
Uh-oh, we're gonna have some trouble here. The DRE.
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
That's right. Now that we done made the East Coast, West Coast thing officially one love, I want to thank everybody out here for putting me in a situation where I could win an award like this, being from Long Beach, California. And we'll continue to keep G-funking y'all like we should do each and every motherfucking year. LBC you.
So yeah, they ended up even 5-5, right?
They ended up even.
Okay.
And so that's at the awards or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna play this clip too, just so y'all can get a glimpse of what that energy was really
Howdy,
like.
folks, stop what you're doing and pay attention. Did you ever hear the story about the time the legendary Tupac Shakur ran into Biggie at the 1996 Soul Train Music Awards? Check this out, boy.
Pac and Suge walked around the auditorium. Pac yelling, West Side, West Side, West Side.
Pac came over there talking about, now what, West Side? And a woman walked past Big. And when this woman walked past Big, she said, oh, now. Tupac is here. He said, Ma, I ain't scared. I ain't scared of him. Pac started saying, now what? Now what, you fat like and Big started saying, what, you know what I'm saying, went back and forth like that. Well, you know, you don't know what Suge gonna do. You don't know what like, but C Gutter pulls out the gun.
I'm begging and pleading with C Gutter, don't raise that gun. Because if he would have raised it, he would have got shot. But that's all. But Tupac, this being Tupac behind, shoot him, Red, shoot him. You know, grabbing him on.
He's grabbing your arm.
He's grabbing my arm, trying to take the gun, really.
Damn.
Yeah, shit could have really got bad out there. You know what I'm saying? I
For
love Snoop
sure.
Dogg fan for sure. But like I said, the laws end up intervening, and then uh, Pac does which some people will argue is the most uh controversial diss song ever in hip hop culture, which would be "Hit 'Em Up." Everybody in the chat, all 13 of y'all, have y'all drop some beans or drop the money sign for payday if y'all have heard "Hit 'Em Up" before? If y'all heard the song, which a lot of us are kind of like around the same age, give 5 or 10 years, depending on who you are. But I feel like a lot of people would be privy to that song and how detrimental it was.
Hell yeah. If you ain't never heard it, when you get out of this live, go listen to it. Shit.
Oh, okay. So like, where was? Do you remember hearing it? As a child, Patty, as a little girl.
Hell yeah.
And was you singing the song? Like, were you singing
Hell yeah.
it?
But I but I did it for both sides. Like, cause I was a fan of both of their music.
Right, right.
But Hit 'Em Up went crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It did. It
Hit
definitely
'Em Up went
did.
crazy, man.
I can remember being young and just my cousins and my brothers listening to Pac and Biggie or whatever, and I honestly couldn't tell the difference between that song and the other songs because they all had cuss words in them. You know what I'm saying? Like they so like I guess I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics, but I can remember them vividly going crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So I of course growing up as an adult, you understand like, oh, this nigga snap. Like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? But whew, yeah, it was a thing. And I think that um there's a clip of look, Panda said the diss of all disses. I'm telling you, Panda, and people still feel that way to this day. They still feel that way in 2026. You hear me? So yeah.
I gotta drop down and come back. That'll be. I think my audio messed up because I disconnected from the car.
Okay. All right.
I'm about to call back again. All right.
Okay. So the the song itself is a yeah, it's listen from top to bottom because he got him and he got the Outlaws on there. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne fan said I used to listen to it in my day car. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was around, you know what I mean? And as a child, you heard that first off, fuck it in the cook, you claim West Side, we ride, come a good game. You claim to be a player, but it's like, bro, wait a minute, hold on, like, slow the fuck down, just a second, just 1 second, Pop. God damn, Payday, I'm just, you there, Payday? Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it.
I might have.
Uh, no, I don't think.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Okay, can you hear me now?
It's still like staticky
And
and choppy. Yeah, it's like staticky and choppy.
What about now?
It's still staticky.
All right, I'm trying to come back up. Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Payday gonna try to get her audio together. But look, let me see. Lil Wayne fans say that was a classic diss track, just regular rapping. But now some of those diss tracks are dark. Man, I'm trying to tell you, that was like real. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics. You feel me? Like Payday. Let me kick her. Okay, so that was real rapping. That was real talent. You know what I'm saying? That was passionate. That was passion because obviously Pac was passionate about the fact that he felt betrayed. You know what I mean? And the hold on, here go Pay.
Dang, you
Dang,
speaking up,
Payday. It's
huh?
still okay.
I know.
Talk.
Let me see if I can connect to his. Let me see something. All right, let me. Okay, I'm about to try something else. Coming right back.
Okay, all right. So like I said, y'all, I think that you know the passion of his words that he used and the way that he rapped the words that he used it was piercing. And in reality, yeah, Biggie was pissed. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, the whole Bad Boy was pissed, and that diss track, even though all of this stuff had happened, like I said, in my opinion, it was personal on Suge Knight's end because Suge Knight lost Jake. You know what I'm saying? And he lost Jake allegedly to Wolf, which is Bad Boy Security. Now, once you have a situation where Pac gets out of jail, he's the more vocal one on the label. He's the Gemini. He's the, you know what I'm saying? He's the voice. So when he comes out and he has the energy of fuck them niggas or whatever, the whole Death Row gonna follow suit. And that's what happened. So now you got the Soul Train Awards in 96 where they finally meet up with each other and it's about to go down. But, unfortunately guns are drawn or whatever, but they ended up, you know what I'm saying, diffusing it. You know what I mean? And I think, you know what I'm saying, that was the best thing that could have happened. Cause as y'all can see from the clip, they were neck and neck as far as the awards. Totally different from the year before at the Source Awards. You know what I'm saying? Pac was out and now they got bangers. So they compete music wise. Um, and I think that, in my opinion, with the guns being drawn, let me see. Oh, that's way
Can you
better.
hear me?
Yeah, that's way better.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. You sound good. You sound better. But what I was just explaining, Payday, is that even after Jake lost his life, right? It was personal on Suge's end. Okay. Now, boom, fast forward, Pac gets out of jail and he signed a death row. Pac is the Gemini. Pac is the poet. Pac is the voice. So naturally, with whatever he's feeling, Death Row is gonna follow suit because Pac just has that aura where, we riding with whatever he got going on.
Right, but Snoop didn't though, right? Because it was a disagreement between him and Snoop, and that whole radio interview with Snoop.
Well, we
Oh, we
not
didn't
there.
get that far yet. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we
I'm
not
sorry.
there yet because this is just, what I'm saying, because I was explaining to them too, because at one point Snoop was the golden goose of Death Row. You know what I mean? But then
He
when
was.
Pac get out, they welcome him with open arms because it's like, of course we want Pac to come. You know what I'm saying? So when Pac is just now getting out of jail and music is kicking up, now y'all going to places and y'all representing each other together. You know what I'm saying? At the 96 Soul Train Awards, when they, what I'm saying, met up with each other, it was like, oh man, that could have went bad. And then we talked about, well, I was just saying before you came back up, the Hit 'em Up disc record came after that. And so now it's kind of personal to where it's like, because Biggie was definitely pissed. The whole Bad Boy was pissed, because at this point it's like, okay, this is kind of going far because Biggie's personal life was violated. You know what I'm saying? Saying that he fucked Faith. Um,
Hmm.
and And I honestly feel as though Biggie still didn't want it to go that way, go that route with Death Row, but I think that at that point he kind of like forced into being like, man, fuck him too, because I mean you done violated this man's family. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, after that, ain't no coming back from that though. You know what I'm saying?
feel me? You feel me? Jelly Bean, may I ask, did he learn this behavior from somewhere, right? What you
So you
mean?
think Tupac smashed St. Davis?
Man, I've gone back
Yeah.
and forth with that shit. I've gone
He
back and
said
forth.
yeah too.
I've gone back and forth with that shit, Payday. Like I've gone back and forth with it because I don't understand why this woman would still be lying years later when he's not here. But so many people like that video
It's
I
true.
sent you.
I understand.
He over here talking about he understand why
I
why
Look,
she
mean,
lying, babe.
because he did, and he can't
He
say
can't say
nothing.
nothing back.
Yeah, so it's really
I
it's
mean, he
her
already
word.
put it in the record though.
He put in the record. He did, but he's not here no more. So she got the choice to hold on to
Her side of the
her
story.
but
side,
the
and he
reason
can't.
why it's crazy to do is because there's so many other people saying you lying that's still alive to tell that story. So many others are in that video I sent you, Payday. It's they'll say it in that video where you know what I'm saying. It's so many different people. I mean, men and women that can attest to the fact that there was something
But
going.
was any of them there that
I
night?
mean, yeah, that's true, but they not Pac and they not fake. So it's like you saying what you saw or whatever the case may be, but I'm me. I'm saying no. So it's like
She said that's a lie. She's speaking to me, baby. She ain't
Because
saying
see, the
Pop.
other point about it is that Pac said it happened. So it's like Pac a nigga that can get any bitch he want. Why would he lie about Faith?
but it's a chance that he could have not got her, but being I'm on some messy shit. I'm creating tension between me and Biggie, this, that,
I
and
mean,
other.
that's that's gonna get to a nigga heart real
So
quick,
so
especially if you got a
so
picture as evidence.
so it's a possibility that he could have not fucked her and had a
It's
picture
a
with it and
possibility.
ran with it.
It's a possibility for sure. Now I get it because it's the art of war, and I feel like that picture that he took with Faith was enough to be like, he could run with whatever story he wanted to
Yeah,
just
even
based
if
off
they
that
didn't
picture.
fuck, they was a little too chummy to say that was
That you
his
feel
op at the
me? You feel
time.
me?
That
Yeah,
You
that
feel
and
me?
that's why people gonna lean more towards they did.
yeah.
And Pac being who he is with a name and this and that and this and that. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, if
Yeah.
people are eyewitnesses of her sitting on this man's lap, I'm just really
But
finding
they
it hard
that's
to.
true, but they not eyewitness of him sticking his dick in
No,
her.
I get it. I get that. But I'm not finna and then she played oblivious to the whole beef. Like she didn't really know it was that sticky, which is crazy. But of course, go with that. And you know what I'm saying? It's like she said that he forced her or he was trying to force her to suck his meat in order to get paid for the wonder why they call you bitch
I see.
Yeah,
song.
I never knew she said that. Now
I
that
ain't never
sounds
know that neither.
suspicious as fuck.
And
I
swear
ain't
to
never know
God,
that neither.
swear to
That
God.
sounds suspicious as fuck. So he just randomly was just trying to get you to suck his dick. Like what?
Instead of paying her. And she was like, no, I'm ready to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to make money.
Instead of paying her, like
Yeah.
she would be servicing him. Like nothing about that makes sense.
Now
I
I
want
give
you to suck my dick and do the track for free.
Don Play say I'm all I'm gonna say is follow the money. Who got famous on Richard with Biggie? That's them. No, I know what you're saying. I didn't understand where you was coming from with when you was talking about Diddy, but now I get it. I see what you're saying. So Biggie was tender dick because wasn't he fucking Lil
He
Kim?
say so big was telling it because wasn't he fucking with Kim? How he get upset if Tupac hit his man? Nigga,
Because
you
that
know
was his
how
wife.
old? That's still his
That was his
man.
wife. That's why.
That's
What's up with it,
still
Don?
yeah. I don't
What's
care how
going on?
many side bitches he had. You know he's still gonna feel like it's disrespecting Pac hit his girl late.
Yeah, man. But I like I said, man, in that clip that I sent you, Payday, they talk about it or whatever. Because basically, the hit 'em up, I feel like just kind of like intensified the beef for sure. It made things personal on Biggie's end. You know what I'm saying? And you know. This whole series is based off of characteristics of Diddy, right? And I just want everybody to understand how this all ties back around to this motherfucker because um we also got the clip of Keefy D stating, you know what I'm saying, when Diddy wanted to go ahead and put these bounties on Pac and Suge, you know what I'm saying? And he was vocal about it on several different occasions with the Southside Crips and Keefe. So, man, Hit 'Em Up did a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? It did a whole lot. So,
That's still probably one of the rawest districts, though.
yeah, I mean, that nigga, first of all, the nigga comes on the track and says, first off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. West side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. Like, it's just like, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Wait a minute, man. God damn. Like,
Tupac waiting for the juggler.
oh my gosh. It was just immediate disrespect. Like, oh Jesus. It was it's piercing even to this day type shit. You know what I'm saying? But where are you able to get to your laptop pay to play that?
No, I can't. You talking about the clip on?
Uh-huh.
And you on your phone?
Yeah.
I wonder if you switch to your laptop, but I stay on mute. Or will
If
that help
the
the
only thing
lag?
about it on my laptop, it be lagging. That's why I be asking you to play it, because it be lagging on my shit.
Will it lag even if I'm on the panel?
Girl, yeah. It lag if I'm by myself. Hell yeah.
Oh damn.
I need to really clean my laptop because like I said, it'll only let me play like the clips that I be playing, that's about as long as it'll go for that bitch start lagging.
Gotcha. Gotcha. They ain't got nobody to check they can play it. That's on the
Uh,
laptop that we know.
no, I mean, shoot, I could have asked Five if she could have came, but I think Black Live, so she over there probably.
Yeah, he is. I don't know if she over there, but I know he is.
Dang, so you ain't gonna be able to play it?
No, cause I'm like out.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be long though.
Okay, well, I think. Let me see.
Lil Wayne fan down there. I don't know if she been on the laptop.
Let me see.
Ain't nobody down there volunteering. What the damn volunteers did? I know y'all ain't out and about. Somebody on their goddamn laptop down there.
They're probably like, we ain't come to this motherfucker to work, man. Hold on, let me see something. Appreciate it, Don Play. Hold on, let me see. All right, so look, y'all. This one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play these last two clips that I had downloaded. Excuse me, because I can't even really get into um the diss track or whatever because I want y'all to see that video. So I don't want to talk around it. We just gonna wait till we able to play that to really discuss that. But I want to get into these clips where Keefe is basically saying that Puffy wanted to put a bounty on Pac and Suge. And then, you know, I forgot this dude name. This other guy, he's like posing a question to ask, is Puffy really responsible for the East West Coast War? Now, me personally, I feel like he should hold some accountability for that shit.
Hell yeah, he responsible for it if he the one who got the man shot at Quiet Studios. Yeah, I mean it all started there.
Well, I think it started at the fact that okay, so let me just play this. Let me play this right here.
Initiated the beef between Southside and the mob. Okay, so what did Puffy do as far as if it wasn't for him, none of this would have happened?
If it wasn't for him putting a bounty on the death row chain, the fight would have never happened at Lakewood Mall, and Tupac would have never attacked Orlando and Vegas.
So, I mean, but I could see the way you read into it, because a nigga like, hey, I want y'all to go snatch a nigga death row chain. And that initiates the whole fallout. But you can't ask that. You ask that from Puffy today, he gonna tell you what? I ain't paid the nigga to do nothing. I ain't paid a nigga to go snatch a nigga chain. That's a damn lie.
But to me, that's the tail end of everything. Because if when Tupac got shot, he ends up feeling like, okay, Diddy got this done, and Biggie knew about it, and he starts to attack Biggie. Biggie starts to respond, which started the whole East Coast West Coast thing. Then it would start with that. Like I feel like the chain and in Orlando and the fight and all that, that was like at the end.
Well, I mean, that's the time when bounties came in though, because that whole thing at the Quad Studio
But the
was,
war was already there.
I mean, kind of and not really, because like I said, it was no like real life gunplay other than Jake. It was, and you know what I'm saying,
But
and
see, when we talked about the Drake situation, we talked about it wasn't no going back for Suge after that night when Diddy them played with him
well, see, that's what
and
would
killed
make it
his
personal.
homeboy.
That's what would make it personal for Suge though, and not Death Row. That's why I feel like, you know what I'm saying, once Puffy is like, I want them niggas dead, and people are saying like, oh, he paid for it, it's like, oh yeah, because you got to think about it. The Quad Studio thing was on.
So I misunderstood. I'm thinking you talking about the rap war between the East and the West. You meaning that once he put the bounty out, that's what made West Coast try to really kill East Coast niggas, and East Coast really unalive West Coast niggas. That's what you're saying.
Well, that's what made it personal and real for Puffy, because I'm gonna say this, that the Quad Studio shit, that wasn't Puffy, that was what's his name, goddamn, because Puffy may have been privy, but he didn't put that play in motion. You know what I'm saying? That was goddamn damn, I can't think of their damn names. We talked about them too. Oh, I can't think of their names. But that was them street niggas or whatever. Haitian Jack and I forgot the other one. But that was them because they felt like Pac shunned them. Like Haitian Jack was at the Above the Rim video, I mean movie set, and he was giving Pac
But that was
Rolex.
Tupac homeboy, huh? Or not?
Nah, he was just kind of like baiting Pac, really, but he was buying him shit, being the first to buy him what he never had, and all this old shit. And then, Pac didn't do what he wanted him to do or whatever. And then with old boy, he had a Jimmy Henchman, that's his name. Jimmy Henchman had an artist, which was Lil Sean, and Pac kind of like son Jimmy Henchman too, and Jimmy Henchman didn't like that. So Jimmy Henchman had kind of hinted to Haitian Jack that he was gonna have Pac robbed and this and that. And Jimmy Henchman was like, man, make sure that y'all don't use gun. Whatever whatever Haitian Jack said to Jimmy Henchman, but that was the whole point of Jimmy Henchman trying to lure Pac to Quad Studios. Now Puffy may have been privy to it, but that wasn't a play that that Puffy put in motion. So at that point in time, I feel like it was still kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really an issue. Then boom, he goes to jail because of the grape case. Then while he's in jail, you know what I'm saying, they're telling him Bad Boy had nothing to do with it. He knew that. Then boom, he get out of jail. He ends up, you know what I'm saying, wilding out, claiming he fucked Faith, doing the Hit 'em Up record, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like, okay, we meet at Soul Train Wars in '96. Gun is pulled, pistols is pulled, but nobody, you know what I'm saying, shoots. Now Puffy is saying, I want these niggas dead. At that point in time, it was, to me, no turning back for Death Row as a whole and Bad Boy as a whole. It was no turning back for Suge a long time ago. But as a label, I feel like obviously that's when Puffy wanted to turn that shit up, because I don't know if maybe Biggie knew about these bounties or not. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that this nigga Puffy paid for these Southside Crips for protection long before shit really got sticky with Death Row. And
Yeah, he had been doing that.
yeah, and Death Row is mainly blood. So what you rolling with the Crips, nigga, what you think it look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then these is people that's from LA. They're not even from the East Coast. They just fuck with you because you paying them. So, I just feel like Puffy just, he's his hand is in the pot for sure. And him putting bounties and shit. Now, I'm gonna play this because this is where Keefy D pretty much speaks about Puffy saying vocally on numerous occasions that he wanted to put bounties on Suge and on Puffy and Biggie.
All four of those occasions are San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah, Anaheim.
After a concert in Anaheim, Keefe D claims that he attended a party with Puffy in a hotel suite. So it's Harrell, you, Puffy, Zip, and a bunch of Southsiders. And what Puffy makes kind of an announcement?
Yeah, that was stupid as hell too, you know.
What did you actually hear? What was the words, if the best you can remember what he says?
Shit, he said he'd give us anything for them dudes there, you know? Yeah.
He'll give you anything for these guys' head?
Yeah, he said it in front of all those people. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
In Anaheim?
Yeah. Whole room full of Crips.
So that nigga was at the point where that nigga was at the point where he was willing to pay, you know what I'm saying, Keefe and Southside Crips to go ahead and get the job done for Bad Boy, because Puffy was sick of them niggas. He was scared. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be able to make music in peace. You know what I mean? And he was willing to pay for it. So it's just like we'll get to that point too where we talk about, you know what I'm saying, Las Vegas when Pac goes uh to see the fight or whatever, Tyson fight, and we'll go over the MGM Grand situation with Orlando Anderson and things like that. But at the same time, I just want to leave in y'all brain the fact that, you know, at this point in time, with Pac being out of jail and, you know what I'm saying, being as vocal as he is and stuff and doing the things that he's doing, because mind you, it's not just hit him up, it's interviews that he's done, Vibe magazine interviews, you know what I'm saying, MTV interviews with him and Snoop Dogg. Like, it's all type of interviews that's out when Pac was released from jail, where he's vocal about the fact that, you know, it's beef with the East Coast. And then there's some interviews where he's saying it's not beef with the East and the West Coast. It's just beef between two labels. You know what I'm saying? And he's steady slugging the labels, but not even understanding that time is already running out. You know what I mean? This is after Hit 'em Up, after all of these things. But again, I don't know if y'all remember me telling y'all at the beginning of the live, Pac had a conversation with somebody that he respected, who was a Black Panther, who told him after he, you know, released Hit 'em Up that, hey, you know, this is kind of like the start of a war. You know, I kind of saw this same thing occur in the Black Panther Party, and you need to slow down. And Pac took heed to that and wanted to start a One Nation project, which included, you know, Bad Boy at some point. Um, but at that point, you know, it was kind of already too late. You know, you had bounties allegedly by Puffy in the air. You had the diss track in the air. You had whether Faith slept with Pac in the air. You know what I'm saying? All of these things, you know, with Faith being pregnant, you know what I'm saying? You know, Biggie had his responses, you know what I'm saying, to the fact that Faith was pregnant. And, you know, it was just a mess. You know what I'm saying? It was a mess. And unfortunately, by the time Las Vegas came, you couldn't there was no way to put the brakes on it. You know what I'm saying? Um Thank you, Miss Pooh. I appreciate it, baby. So I just want to put a pin in that for y'all because, like I said, I don't even want to talk around Hit 'em Up. We gonna come back and we'll review that video, and, you know, we'll put a pin in this episode. Just understand that, you know, we didn't went to the Soul Train Awards, you feel me? And well, Pac is out, you know what I'm saying? He's, you know, working on his album, you know what I'm saying? He does California Love with Dre, you know what I mean? He does Hit 'em Up, you know what I'm saying? And when he does Hit 'em Up, that kind of was like a situation where it definitely was no coming back. If you thought it could be rectified at that point in time, that along with other things, you knew it was no way possible it could be rectified. So I'm gonna probably end up going live, y'all, about the book that I've been reading, Who's Watching Shorty, the Jane Doe that was in the R. Kelly trial, who he urinated on with his nasty ass. um I'm still reading that book, so I'm gonna probably give y'all a follow-up on that, if not tomorrow, Wednesday. um Me and Payday, we gonna get together and we'll be back so we can, you know what I'm saying, patch up this episode. And Shoot, y'all just stay tuned, man. I listen. I want the people, if y'all, because I've had some people inbox me and ask me this. Um, that's why I keep saying it. Episodes 1, 2, 3 is on Twitch, but 4 is not. 4 is on YouTube, y'all. 4 is on YouTube, and this one will be on Twitch. So kind of wanted all of them to be available on Twitch, but for the replay, if y'all want to go back, this one will be on Twitch. But episode 4 is the only one that's on YouTube right now. So that's why it's not on Twitch. Payday.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we finna close it out.
Okay. Bye, y'all. I might give y'all a messy live tonight. I don't know. It depends on how drunk I get.
So y'all make sure y'all get to the Renegade report just in case. Let me see. More lucrative for the record labels to beef. Hell yeah, Miss Pooh. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh yeah, Lil Wayne fan. I had did a live yesterday about that. Um I definitely I definitely been reading that book. And for me, like I told y'all yesterday, like I was telling them yesterday, for me, I've been looking personally for Rashana Landfair. You know what I'm saying? Looking for her to tell her story, looking for her to come out, be vindicated in some sort. Cause I was mad at her. I was pissed off at her. Cause I was just like, I know good and goddamn well you're not around here still, you know what I'm saying? Like working for this man, you know what I'm saying? Like in essence, you know what I mean? And up until that R. Kelly docuseries, she was doing exactly that. Working for him, still getting him girls and stuff. So I had been looking for her personally to pop out. And so when she did and she dropped that book, had to snatch it. You know what I mean? And it's very interesting. Very much so interesting. So I'm gonna probably end up talking about the other chapters that I've read. Like I said, I'm on chapter 6. I didn't read last night before I went to sleep, but I might go ahead and read tonight. I think I'm gonna go ahead and read tonight before I go to sleep. Get a couple of chapters, maybe 3 chapters in, 3 or 4 chapters in for y'all, so that tomorrow or Thursday when I come back, we can continue talking about it. Um, Payday might be able to pop out tonight. So if y'all can, this is Payday's link at the Renegade Report. Y'all make sure y'all notifications on just in case she hit that button. Make sure that y'all notifications are on for Payday and for the beanbag, because you never know when we gonna pop out. You know what I'm saying? Payday got a lot going on when it comes to taking care of kids. So just make sure your notifications on. You know what I'm saying? When she hit that bitch and she pop out, make sure y'all there. Um, and I appreciate y'all that tuned in. You know what I mean? This content is strictly for the ones that want it. This is the type of shit that I'm into. Payday, my co-host, you know what I'm saying? We come and we just drop this shit off. You feel me? You do what you will with it. But shout out to the ones that wanted to be here to hear this, because this is gonna be for y'all. You feel me? Again, I'm gonna be. You feel say something, Pay?
No, I was agreeing.
Okay. So again, I'm gonna be either live tomorrow. Y'all probably just do a live tomorrow too. And then y'all look out for us putting a pin on this episode for Hit 'em Up. Cause we'll just talk about Hit 'em Up itself and how we'll just make that an episode. Hit 'em Up itself and then talk about that. So
Okay, you gonna talk about the book tomorrow?
yeah, I'm probably going, cause like I said, I'm gonna read tonight before I go to bed, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
probably do live tomorrow about that book.
Okay.
Just subscribe. Let's go. Let's go, Miss Pooh. Thank you for watching Paid and Beans. Let's go, Lil Wayne fan.
Let's
So
go, little white fan. You know she gonna be on it.
yeah, she been on it. Soon as she got the tools, before she got the tools, she was telling people to share. I think that's just naturally programmed in Lil Wayne fan. She can't even help. She just get right in the gear. But shout out to Lil Wayne fan for sure. Yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go live tomorrow for the book. If y'all wanna tune in and we talk about that, and then like I said, be on the lookout for Payday because she might be on tonight. And
Yes,
then
put y'all notifications on for me, y'all, because I be having so much going on, child. You just never know. So just put your notifications on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all make sure y'all notifications on for payday, so when she is available and she do hit the button, y'all ain't gonna miss it. Um and tomorrow, I don't know what time I'll be live, but y'all turn the notifications on for me as well if y'all want to see or talk about more about that book review. Um and I think that's it, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and let y'all go. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it short and sweet. And
All right, good night, y'all.
good night, Pay. We'll definitely talk on the back end so we can uh see when we gonna set up the hit 'em up. What's the name? Episode.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Okay.
that'll work. All right.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna play a couple of songs. I'm gonna play this clip first. Hold on. Let me play this clip first because I thought this shit was funny. Hold on. Oh man, I don't think I downloaded that thing. Man, I gotta re-download it. All right. I'm gonna see y'all a little bit later. Y'all hit the like button on the way.
And we welcome you, James Brown. How did all of this trouble begin?
Living in America.
And what are you going to say to your fans when they ask you some questions about it?
I'm going to say I feel good. Papa's got a brand new bag. It's a man's world. Sex machine, get up off of that thing. I feel good. Jam. Because I
What do you
look
think
good.
that is? You
I
look
smell
good.
good. I
Yes.
feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
What you looking at, Ray? Just what the fuck you looking at, Ray?
You know, I noticed that, I know that you and, Mr. Wilkins been mighty friendly lately. What, y'all gonna be a new couple or something?
Kiss my ass, Ray. Okay? Mr. Wilkins just an old man that like to talk. That's all that is, Ray. That's all that is.
Oh, yeah, you old like to talk. Well, I'm the one that I like to talk to.
What you want to talk about, Ray? Huh? What you want to talk about?
Nigga, I want to talk about the plan you've been working on.
I ain't working on no plan, Ray.
I know you. And I know when you got something brewing. I know it.
What I got brewing? What I got brewing, Ray? You tell me. You done lost your damn mind, Ray.
I don't
That's
care
what you done
believe.
did,
I
Ray.
don't care what you believe. I don't care what you believe, eh? Because I know you got something up your sleeve, nigga.
I'm a...
No, I can't help but think. No, I can't help but think of you. Maybe in time you can win me back. But right now, me and you are through. Baby, we can't be together. Never. Never.